Hello guys, what's up? Hala here, and today I'm going to be going over many different ways that you can render out your recorded video game footage. There's 3 different programs I'm going to be going over. There's so many different settings that you can do. I'm going to kind of explain some of them and show off what I had used or have been using or what I would use. I'm showing off Movie Maker, Camtasia Studio, and Sony Vegas. I'm not showing off Adobe Premiere because I have no idea how to use that, but that is a very popular one also. There are many different advantages and disadvantages to different software, and I will be going over them one at a time. Now, right here is Movie Maker. It's very simple and kind of elegant. It looks prettier than Sony Vegas, I'd say. And I don't know, it's okay to use. It lacks some features, but it should be good enough for just slapping some, oh wait, that's projects, hold on, should be good enough for, you know, just slapping some a voice over some video game footage. Now with this, I don't know how to, I don't think you can edit the aspect ratio though. You may actually be able to do that, and I have no idea how to. I am not super familiar with this, but I know that a lot of people do use this. I don't believe the version of Movie Maker that I had used, you could not edit the aspect ratio, and I don't believe that you can use this, but I just downloaded this, so I have no idea if they changed anything. I apologize if they did. I'm no expert at this whatsoever, but I will try and go over it a little bit. So right here you have some frames. We can skip ahead a little bit right here. See? It doesn't show all the previews of this, but this is kind of it just cutting up and showing you just little sections of it. Like right here, skips like 4 seconds in, and 4 more, and 4 more. It's not exactly 4, it's almost 5, but it doesn't matter. I'm just showing you this. Now you can also put audio levels on here. I saw it earlier, I was messing around with it, and here you can have the audio equalize. See, here's the audio levels that popped up. And we can zoom into them and we can see them better, or we can zoom out. And also, I think if we zoom in a lot, we can go ahead and get, yep, look at that, smaller chunks right there. So you can zoom in frames even more so than the typical frame right there. So if we go ahead and go here, we can look at all this. This is all of the different websites that you can publish to. You can also edit things. You can put a title on it and be like, oh, hey, this is my movie, and choose starting time. You know, it's basic editing, nothing large. Add credits, record narration, so you can do a commentary over it. Say you recorded some Call of Duty, and then you want to talk over it right now as opposed to live. Then you can go ahead and be like, oh, hey, guys, blah, 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 blah. And you can throw a webcam on there, too. You'd be like, hey, I'm waving, and talk. You probably wouldn't do that over gameplay, though. That would be its own video. You would record a webcam video, something like that, probably. And you can take a snapshot from your thing and, I don't know, use it as a thumbnail, maybe, and edit it, something like that. Now, this, obviously, is how I imported the video. We can go ahead and go into this. This is just different transitions and animations. This is visual effects. You can go ahead and look at all of them and see what all of them do.
Got a different class
like that. That's threshold. I mean, there's a bunch of different things. You can go through them individually. This doesn't really have anything to do with the rendering or specific. You can use this to increase the audio levels of individual tracks. You can also use this. I already showed you that. You can increase the speed of it. You can fade in and fade out with your audio levels. See, it's okay editing. It's not amazing. It's definitely not horrible, though. I had used this before. Again, an older version, because it was quite some time ago that I did. Now, what I'd probably do is I do the recommended, maybe. That seems pretty good, but if you don't have something that matches this, like this isn't recorded in 1080p, and this wants to publish it in 1080p, so I wouldn't do that. What I'd go ahead and do is just create a custom one, and I'd pick that, and then whatever you want it to be in, whatever quality, like this is 10 or 720p rather. And then 8,000 bitrate's okay, but I'd probably do like 10,000. It'll look a little nicer. You can even do 12,000 if you want. Again, it'll look nicer, but the file sizes will be larger. And this is going to dramatically reduce the file sizes, like DxTory. Here, look, I'll go look at one right now. This 8 gigs for 6 minutes. I mean, they're pretty big compared to other files, but this is going to tone it down so much. I mean, it's going to be so much smaller. And then the audio level should be fine right there. Unless you record in something higher, then go ahead and change it. Otherwise, I'd leave it alone right there. And there you go. There, you save. And that's how you render out in Movie Maker. You know, nothing too fancy. Camtasia has some more things like that. Now, what I do is look at some of the tutorials. They probably go more in depth with other things. I'll show you what I use it for, though, and show you some other things. Screen recording I'm doing right now via Camtasia Studio. What I do, these right here are chunks. What I do is I import a video right here. I'll go ahead and import the same one. Why not? This is recorded in a very large size, so it slows down Camtasia Studio for whatever reason, I don't know. Oh, probably because it's trying to compile all the audio and video and compress it. But as you can see, it's popping up right here. I right-clicked it and I had add to timeline, and then you choose the dimensions for whatever you want the project to be. It doesn't have 1080, but you can do 1080. You can do any dimension you want on here. See, you can just change it like that. And then you don't have, see, I can have like 9,000 by, oh, I can't do 9,000. Apparently it only supports up to that, and then let's see what the max for that is. Okay, that's the max. So that's something it lacks, and it can't do 4K. Sony Vegas can do 4K. I don't think Windows Movie Maker can do 4K though, or very well anyway. I don't know. I never tried it, but I always do 1080p or 720p, not 1080p. This thing can do 1080p though. I have done it before, but then I was like, it doesn't really matter because I don't record in 1080p. So whatever. And then right here, change aspect ratio, you just stretch it over. This is probably the easiest thing ever to, if you didn't record in the exact size, so easy to change. You just stretch it over. And like if you want to do overlays, just stretch it and slap it on there. You want to put a picture right here, go ahead and do that. You know, you just shrink it down and move it right here, and you're good to go. You know, there's not a whole lot to it, really. And the great thing about this is it should look exactly the same once. See? Look at that. Ta-da! With like picture editing and stuff like that, it would look horrible whenever you did that. But of course, this isn't actually changing anything right now. Now, what you can go to is the library. What I was saying is what I'll do is I'll take this and this right here. What you could do is you can move this and you can move to the time you want, and then highlight it and hit this, which will split the clip. Or what you can do is take this and it'll count how long it is in the highlighted area. And then you can be like, well, I want a 50-second video, which, of course, you aren't going to put a 50-second video up. And then what I do is once I split up all my parts using that, I'll go back and I'll highlight it and I'll right-click and I'll hit Add Asset to Library. And once you add the asset to library, it's right here. And then once we have all of these, I don't think it's going to let me delete it while I'm doing that. Nope. Yeah, if you have the project right here, it won't let you delete it. But what that does is, as long as you have the raw footage, this right here will just sit here, and it's kind of like it's like you're saving the project, but you're not. So after that, what I do is I'll do a new project, and then I'll drag this in, and then I'll save it. And I'll save the project, and I'll name it whatever. I'll be like, oh man, super awesome Minecraft, part 1. And then what you can do is if you have enough of those saved, enough of the project saved, you can go to Tools, and you can go to Sharing Batch Production, and you pick all of them. You go here, and then you pick what you want to render it out in, and it renders them all at once. It's called batch rendering. I think they call it batch production. Yeah, batch production. And you can do that, and that's fantastic. And that's very good if you're, recording in bulk and editing in bulk. Now what you can do is callouts. This is just put weird little like shapes on your thing. I never use it. I don't understand the point of it, so I'm probably not the best one to talk about callouts. I think I saw somebody change, yeah, like here you can highlight things, you can add text. This is kind of cool. You can put different keystrokes and stuff on there, and you can spotlight stuff, blur things, pixelate things if you want to censor something. Go ahead and do it. I don't know what you're editing and you want to censor, but actually, I probably could have censored my Fraps info instead of just leaving it alone. And then right here you can zoom and pan, so if there's something important on the screen, you can zoom to it and be like, hey guys, you really need to look at this at this very moment. If I'm like talking about something and it's kind of small, and be like, look at the hunger bars. Oh man, wow, I have full. I mean, obviously, you're probably not going to be doing that in a video game. I don't know, maybe. More like a, capturing your whole window and being like, oh, hey guys, look, I'm capturing this entire screen. Let's zoom in and look at right here, because you really need to know this, but it's kind of hard to see. And then here's audio. You can edit your audio tracks right here. This is just the game audio. I don't have the microphone audio. Right here's the microphone audio. With DxTory, it splits them up, and you import them in here. What I was saying with DxTory is what you do is you right-click it, and you hit Extract Audio Stream, and here is the game audio, which is in the video, which you don't need it because the video, whenever you import it, already has that audio. And then here's your microphone audio that you can just edit later. And then you can have transitions. There's a bunch of different ones. These are all, they have names. You can tell what they are. And then they have some more options like voice narration. You can talk over your gameplay and captions and things like that. They aren't a big deal or anything. That's pretty much how you go about doing it. Now I'll show you my render settings. So I have my own right here. This is what I use. Again, you can make your own up. Let's just make one up for right now. Actually, I'll show you mine. So we'll go here. We'll go to Edit. I named it this. This is WNV. It renders in Windows Media Video. You can put it in MP4 or AVI, whatever. It doesn't really matter. I like WNV because it's generally smaller files, but the quality does go down a little bit. I mean, it still looks really nice, though, so it doesn't matter. Now you go to Next. Now, if you're using Camtasia, you want to go ahead and leave it at Recommended. It's going to be good. And then use Custom Size. You go ahead and choose your file output size. This is for 720p. You pick that. You can put a watermark on it. Like if you want your logo in the corner, you can go do that. You don't have to, of course. And then you hit Finish, and it goes ahead and it renders it for you. I'm obviously not going to render it because why would I render it right now? Now, here's another one. This is Sony Vegas. This has so many settings. There's no way I can go into all of them, and I'm still learning Sony Vegas too. Like, I've used this a lot, but I still don't know all of it. I'm going to show you what I use on it and show you that this is a very powerful. It's the most powerful out of all of the editing softwares that I have shown you, and rendering softwares too. That's mainly what you use it for, is just rendering, not editing. I mean, you could make like a montage in here or something. I know plenty of people use it for things like that. People in like FaZe and Obey and big clans, things like that. You can do that. But what you're going to want to go ahead and do is go to Project Properties. Most of these by default are really, really nice because this program is really nice. And what I like using is HDV 720 and 30 frames per second. Right here, the width and height matches 720p. Yeah, there's the frame rate 30 because of YouTube. Field order, you're going to want to have that on none. 8-bit's fine, and then best, you're going to want the render quality to be the best that it can be. You don't want to have it not very good, because that's not going to be very good. Like here, let me show you this real quick. This is different previews. If you don't pick best and pick full, the gameplay doesn't look as good too, and you'll see how good it looks, and it does not look good at all. I'll go ahead and import this. Do you want your project video settings to match this media? We'll go ahead and hit no. So like right here, you should be able to, oh wait, let me go to the beginning of the video. That might help. Now, right here, there's black bars to show you how to get rid of that. Best, full, and in full screen, it looks really nice. It looks a little blurry right now, but that'll show you what the gameplay will actually look like whenever it's rendered out. Now, if you chose one of these, it wouldn't look as good. As you can tell, that looks really bad. And if you rendered in that quality, it would look like that, really bad. Now, if we go back to here, I'll show you all of them. Keep motion blur at this. Put this at none. You can have this, and it will go into that more later. And then this doesn't matter. You aren't going to pre-render anything. Or I don't pre-render anything. Again, I'm showing you what I do. Okay, and I always have start all projects with these settings. So it goes ahead and goes into it. And actually, I don't think this is mine. This is mine. Right here, I have a little modifications on here. And then here, everything else should be good. Okay, so I'll just get out of that. Now, right here, what we're going to want to do is with your gameplay, to make it fit here, we're going to want to go to the properties. Where's the properties? Hold on. properties. Why won't it let me go to properties? Hold on a second. There we go. I guess it didn't. Oh, I clicked on the audio and not the video. Okay, go to properties. Maintain aspect ratio. We're going to turn that off, and that'll fit the thing. And then smart resample. You don't want that. It resamples the video, and it makes it blurry and pixelated sometimes. So we go ahead and do that, and then there we go. See, the aspect ratio is gone. It fits the project settings as opposed to fitting the raw footage settings, which I recorded in my full screen, which does not 720p. Okay, so we're going to do that. And then you're going to have to do that every time, unfortunately. It sucks, but whatever. This will all stay if you have that selected. And then we can go into our actual render settings. Now, real quick, what you can do is you can click like right here, and you can hit S, and that'll split a clip. And then what you... Oh, man, that freaked me out. Hold on. What you can do here is... Oh, what am I... I'm not doing it right. Hold on. You can do this. You just click and drag, and you can hit R, and then just name it 1. And then right here, you can click and drag and hit R, and then it'll be 2. And you hit Enter to get rid of that. And then this selects different things that it will render. So in here, you can do a batch render by doing that, and you have to go to... I don't have it quite memorized yet. I haven't been doing this for very long, but I think it's under options. Hold on, I'll find it and then I'll unpause it. Okay, so I found out where it is. It's under tools, and then you go to scripts and a batch render, and you go ahead and go into here, and then it has a bunch of different render options. I'm going to show you all the render options and stuff in a second. Now right here are the different audio tracks for DxTory. You do not have to separate the audio. You don't have to extract it or anything like that. It goes ahead and it puts them on there for you and decodes it right there. So right here is probably my game audio, and here's my microphone audio, and you have them both together as opposed to having to import them, which is pretty nice, so you don't have to, keep tinkering around with that. Now we can go ahead and go into the render settings and show you guys that. This does have some editing stuff. I don't ever use it. If you want to learn more about specific editing things, such as transitions or putting in text or doing color correction or things like that, you probably want to look up specific tutorials. I'm just trying to show you guys how to do commentaries. Now, I have my own made under main concept. This is save it in .mp4. I have it in. It can also save it in .avc. And you have tons of different preset ones. A lot of the presets are actually pretty good. Like internet 720p is pretty much what you're going to want to pick, and then you'll hit customize template. This again is what I use. There's so many different settings you can use on here. I'm just going to show you what I have, and then instead of me going in and changing everything and figuring it out, I'll just show you what I have on here. This is what you want to copy if you want your videos to look kind of like mine. 720p is what you're going to want it in, because of course you want it to be in 720p. 1280 by 720 and 720p. If you didn't know that, you need to learn that, and you'll learn it quick. Frame rate, again, YouTube doesn't have anything higher than 30, so we have it at 30. Progressive scan, no field order. Then variable bit rate. This is on what else did we use the variable bit rate on? Movie Maker. We didn't do it on Camtasia because Camtasia knows how to do it on its own pretty well. On here, the higher is the better. You don't want to have it insanely high, but I do it at like 10 and 14. The average is 10, and then it goes all the way up to 14. So a lot of it's going to be at 10, but a lot of it will also be in between. And then in code mode, this thing's amazing. Okay, I'll tell you what that is in a second. Hold on. Okay, so in code mode is you can this makes rendering so much faster. In code mode, you can render using only your CPU. I have an i7 3770K, so I render pretty well. I used to render with Sony Vegas on a laptop that was like 5 years old, and it was horrible. And I did have some sort of graphics card on it, actually. And so what you could have done, or I could have done if I had... no, I did use this, but I didn't know about it then, so I didn't do it. Actually, I don't know what I'm talking about. I used to use a laptop, and I had no idea this was here or how to use it. And this version of Sony Vegas wasn't out then whenever I did it also. So it was a completely different process. Now I know how to do it, and I'm going to teach you guys how to do it because it's going to help you out so much. So render using CPU only is by default. You're going to want to use one of these two. Probably if you have a graphics card, you're going to be able to use that. And to check, you go to System, check GPU. CUDA is available. I have CUDA, and CUDA is very good. That's with NVIDIA graphics cards. OpenCL would be an AMD graphics card. I'd check just to make sure, and then enable a progressive download. This, I'd change your bitrate all the way to that. This, I think, is default. Include audio, of course, because you want audio. This is how you change your format. I do like MP4. It is very good, so I'm keeping it at that, and that's pretty much it. Video rendering quality needs to be at best. And then you can hit OK and pick that, and then you hit render, and then it goes ahead and renders. And that's pretty much all you need to know about how to render out gameplay commentaries. Now, if you want anything more specific, I don't know how to do it. I'm sorry. Feel free to look it up on YouTube if you want some sort of transition or something fancy or some like audio distortion or anything of that nature. Again, I don't know how to do that. I'm sorry, that's not what this tutorial is for. This is how to render out video game commentary, or commentaries. There you go. I don't know why I need to like explain everything about it. If this did help you out, a like would be awesome. I hope you guys did enjoy. I'll probably have in the description like skip 2 points depending on what you want to use to render. You can use any of these to render out video game commentary, so there isn't like one that's like insanely better. You'll probably get faster times if you have a graphics card using the Sony Vegas because it's more optimized. Camtasia is also optimized for it, but not quite as good as Sony Vegas. Camtasia, I like its graphic user interface more so than Sony Vegas and Windows Movie Maker. I feel as though it's easier to use and it looks a lot nicer, and they also have tutorials like built into the thing. It's freaking awesome. I love that program. It just doesn't render as fast, and that's unfortunate, and it doesn't have quite as many features as Sony Vegas does, unfortunately, but it's still really good and a really powerful video editing software. So I hope you guys did enjoy. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I'll be seeing you guys. Bye.